and gentlemen, a wonderful talk on CX and beyond, immaculate CX practices for the next decade. For this talk, we would love to have on stage partner IBM iX Customer Transformation, IBM Consulting India, South Asia, who has 26 years of technology enablement experience engaging with clients globally. He is responsible to establish and lead consultative sales and delivery teams, enabling clients through their digital transformation agenda, leveraging customer experience and design, commerce, Adobe, Salesforce, and SAP CX practices. With a warm round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Santhosh Rao.
Hi, very good morning. I think we have enough or more CX Gyan. I'm here to give some more. As I was introduced, I'm Santhosh Rao. This is my 26th year in IBM. I can't be more proud because I'm sure you're seeing the stock markets. IBM's doing something right. We're actually 4 quarters in a row. We're beating all the forecasts. So that means our focus has been in the right areas. We've rebranded ourselves as IBM Consulting, and that's very clearly aligned with what our founders started off, right? By saying good design is good business. So I think we are continuously adapting to the changing needs and really making sure that we can continue to evolve and help our clients. So that's the focus. What I'm going to do in the next 18 minutes is what I've been told, is to give you a few key insights into what's happening and how we are working with some of our clients and what we believe should be some of the strategic imperatives or actions each of us as CX leaders can take for our clients or our own teams so that we can evolve in this continuously changing journey. Right? With that said, I have a video request if you can just play that video.
Every tap, swipe, click is a moment to gain or lose customer loyalty. So Audi UK transformed their way of working to deliver flawless experiences. Partnering with IBM iX and using the IBM Garage methodology, they increased the team's velocity by 50% over the last year. Fueled by Adobe Experience Manager and shifted to the cloud, they delivered experiences with style, performance, scale, helping users get off the couch and into the driver's seat. And during the pandemic, while car sales plunged 29%, Audi increased leads by 59% year over year. The best digital experience, bar none.
Okay. So I think the reason why I brought that video up is I'm sure you would have seen our booth with Adobe. We've actually collaborated that. While that's one of the global case studies, we've actually worked with several of the clients out here in India where we brought in the whole Adobe Experience Manager as well as the Magento related aspects. So what I wanted to give you is something which I think all of us are familiar out here, right? The consumers in all of us very clearly want to control shopping. So that's the era where we are in, and that's exactly what's happening. The other area, what we are seeing post-COVID, very clearly, while there was a digital expansion, as we call it, there is this term which has come in, which we have termed it called as hybrid shopping. Technically, both online and as well as offline. So the whole concept of how we, as the service providers, work with our clients to make sure that there is seamless omni-channel experience is where we are going in and working with the clients. So that's the whole term which I wanted to introduce. I'm sure this has been used. We are seeing a lot of hybrid cars and so on, but in line with that, you are actually seeing the whole hybrid shopping where online as well as offline seem to be seamless. So that's the next data point which we're working with. The area where we have found when IBM went in and did their Institute of Business Value study and surveys, which we do every year, is the new aspect which has come in on the right side of this slide. As consumers, what we are seeing is we've always seen, seamless customer experience, online, offline, hybrid shopping, and so on, which has been there. But the area where there is a lot of focus is on the last two items, where specifically around what we call as purpose-driven consumers. That's a trend which we are seeing. And how do you, really make sure that your products and your customer experience, which you give to your customers, are focused around purpose-driven, attracting the purpose-driven consumers. So that's one area. The other area where we are also looking at it as a trend is the area of sustainability. So that's something which, how do you actually bring in the whole customer experience for this focused group of people who are really looking for, is there a purpose in what I buy? Where does this all end up into? So the purpose-driven aspect and the sustainability are becoming a key area to differentiate the whole customer experience area also. So that's something which we are seeing as a trend globally as well as in India. You might have seen a lot of ethnic shopping related aspects which has come in. There's the sustainability products which are coming. How do you influence the customer experience in that space? So if I really look at very broad trends, the first two would be something which has been common from customer experience perspective. The other two is what we are seeing as a trend where a lot of our own clients are trying to see how do we bring in either products which are purpose driven, or how do we attract customers who are really focused around sustainability. That's something which I wanted to bring in, other than the terminology what we've crafted as hybrid shopping. So if I really look at it, so one of the things what we said, while there is changes in the way consumers are evolving and how we are adapting to it, we are continuing to see the aspect of business complexity increasing, right? We saw how the digital requirements increased or leapfrogged during COVID, but very clearly the proliferation of channels, the cross-industry comparisons, the aspect of brand loyalty really reducing is areas what we see as increased business complexity. So what do we want all of us to really look at? Two areas which I wanted to make sure that you guys carry on how we can evolve while working for your own self or your clients is the concept of business design, and also the aspect of experience-led modernization. Those are the two terms where I wanted to make sure that you guys carry home. One is, how do you make sure that you understand evolving into the hybrid shopping era, focus on purpose-driven and sustainability. The second one is with respect to business design and experience-led modernization. These are things which I wanted you guys to carry on. And what do we mean by that? Very clearly, as an enterprise, we wanted to make sure that you activate the whole aspect of customers, the aspect of employees, and the ecosystem. You saw the first video, right? The first video was all about Adobe and IBM working together. We have similar partnerships with Salesforce. We have similar partnerships with SAP Commerce, which are areas where we are partnering together to bring the strengths of each of us to our clients. So very clearly, ecosystem partners for you and your clients, wherever you want to partner, that's an area of focus which you really need to look at when you're activating for scale and for your enterprise. The most important focus, what we are also seeing, is customer experience and employee experience. I think they need to be synonymous. If you are not going to enable your employees through the customer experience journey, almost treat your employee as a customer, then you're not going to be very effective in making sure that that employee treats your customers the way they want to be treated. So very clearly focus on giving them the required tools, technology, and most importantly, the training, so that the employees in turn facilitate in good customer experience. The most important aspect is understand your customers, whether they're focused on hybrid shopping, just digital, online, offline, or they're purpose-driven, or they're really focused around the sustainability aspect. So what we are recommending is really look at the areas of your customer demographics, understand what your customer base is, look at your employees, get them into the right training, and then look at the whole ecosystems and bring it together with one vision to really drive your North Star CX strategy. So these are some of the aspects where you and us as customer-centric organizations really need to look at. CX very clearly needs to be a factor in all choices, but most importantly, I think we need to really look at how do we answer these very clear pivotal questions, right? If you look at it, how customer-centric are we is the big question which we all need to ask. Are there products and services which are really differentiating? That's another question which we need to ask. And are our models and operations meeting business needs as well as, most importantly, the customer needs? So these are things which you really need to really look at it, and most importantly, whether it's sustainable and environmental friendly, which is also the factor which is coming up. This is one of the quotes which you would see in my reviews which is coming up, because very clearly the big question is, which is going to be the actions which I'm going to bring up next. How do we embed the approach of customer experience across the enterprise is what the main question is for all of us, including our own teams when we're working with our clients or you working with your clients. So the actions to take, right? Very clearly what we recommend is the focus on enterprise agility, right? How do you bring in enterprise agility? One of the key things is there is this focus on human-centered design, right? How do you bring in the aspect of human-centered design is an area of focus which you need to make sure that your business practices or design principles are looking in outside in to bring in the human-centered design related aspects. The third one, which we very clearly have learned working with several clients, is to make sure curiosity is the cornerstone, right? You need to make sure that in your team, you have the right blend of people, right diversity to understand that your products are customer-centric, whereas you actually understand what is it from a customer centricity perspective. So encouraging curiosity within your team, within your employees is another area where we recommend of creating this culture of customer centricity for enterprise, especially when you're trying to scale. The next one is something which is very, very clear, right, which we talked about, enabling your employees with great experience. Most important, what we have seen during the surveys very clearly, which is coming in, is communicate with authenticity, which is very clearly a need to really drive the vision in your enterprise. If you're really going ahead to make your customer-centric enterprise, then the most important ones are the employees, and communicating that vision is extremely important, right? Prioritizing the whole digital innovation for your employees is another area where we strongly believe you need to drive, and most importantly, the productivity and accountability aspects which you need to drive with each of your employees. So that's another area which we recommend you really need to focus on. The last but not the least, among the three areas which we focused around is very clearly learn by doing, right? You need to really have teams come in and do an experience audit. Understand where you are today so that you can set a baseline that this is exactly where we are, and move into some sort of a what we call a proof of concept or pivotal aspect of trying to work it out on bringing interventions in small manner. So that's where the whole garage approach comes in, of trying to get some quick wins going so that you can actually assess doing the required A/B testing and making sure that your interventions are heading in the right direction. So learn by doing is very clearly the area. And most importantly, something which I recommend our clients is change the change management. So we all go in and talk about change management, but when you're trying to bring in enterprise agility, when you're trying to bring in digitization for your employees, you can't have archaic change management modules. You really need to make sure that the whole change management aspect adapts to the agility what is needed. So very clearly, when we look at it, focus around these three areas of how you can activate for enterprise is what we recommend. This is something which will be there with you guys. How do you go about it is the next two steps, which I wanted to bring about, is very clearly on the area of business design and experience-led modernization. So I'll quickly run through. I know I've got my bell already, but what exactly is business design, right? Business design is aspect of making sure that you can combine the creativity thinking which is needed along with the technological and operational expertise. We always had the concept of design thinking, but we are trying to bring in the aspect of merge the areas of what is needed for the business. And that's what we recommend as going to and study how we really enable the whole business design concept. The next one is with respect to experience-led modernization. What we mean by experience-led modernization is all about how do you facilitate in decoupling and redesigning and making sure that what you build is integrated into your legacy system. So IBM has actually come up with a specific asset called Experience Orchestrator, where you can really look at it of how your data platform, digital commerce platform, and experience platform can be decoupled and integrated along with what you really have as the front-end Experience Orchestrator platform. So that's something which I wanted to introduce you guys to. So key takeaways from here, right? I think hybrid shopping is a given. We are seeing a trend towards enhanced need towards driving purpose-driven shopping, as well as sustainability as a key area. In order to expand and activate enterprise-related aspects at scale, what are the key areas which you really need to look at is specifically drive home the employee experience, which is clearly driven, the aspects of business design and experience-led modernization. So those are things which you really need to bring home. While there are solutions, assets, and tools, but trying to focus on these very clear areas is going to start helping on enhancing your enterprise towards supporting customer experience at scale. So these are some of those quotes which we've tried to get from our key clients. I think it's there for all of us, where you can see if you really go in and tell the stories to your employees on how each of those impacts are really helping the customer-centric viewpoint for the enterprise. I think that drives the message very clearly home. With that said, I think I had more last video.
Today's customers are won or lost in seconds. It only takes one bad interaction to lose someone's trust. And they need you now more than ever. So let's build experiences that learn. Let's experience smarter. Experience smarter customer service with AI that empowers people. Experience smarter shopping that's seamless. Experience smarter communication that finally feels personal. When businesses use human insights to adapt and connect how they work, they inspire thoughtful moments that become lasting relationships. And when businesses strive to make each experience better than the last, they can actually experience smarter.
Okay. I'll be around for taking any questions. As I said, we're looking forward to making sure that we bring the whole customer experience, business design, experience-led modernization, working with our partners, right? Whether it's Adobe, Salesforce, or SAP Commerce, along with our most important, what we call as the secret which we have, is we being the largest, one of the largest design studios in the world. So I'll encourage you to come in to our Bangalore office and visit our completely enhanced and revamped design studio, which is very much there. Interestingly, this whole revamp was done when COVID, everything was not really there. We put in a few people to go in and revamp the entire studio. So do please go and take a look at it. With that said, thank you.